Meanwhile, in Pennsylvania, that's where special report anchor and executive editor Bret Baier is going to interview the current vice president. And Bret joins us right now, live.
Hey, Bret.
Hey, Bret.
Morning.
Morning.
So,
How we
Bret,
doing?
we're doing okay. We're wondering, so we're all going to be tube-side to watch tonight because you're going to run the whole interview in its entirety. Why do you think she finally decided to come on Fox? Because she's avoided it. Joe Biden doesn't talk on Fox unless Peter Doocy's asking him questions. Is it to get our vast audience of undecided viewers, independents? Why is she sitting down with you?
Yeah, listen, I think that there's a combination of issues. I think that a lot of it is about a changing map. And we've seen that develop over recent days. And swing states are tight or even trending towards the former president. I think that there is an outreach, especially for men, maybe Nikki Haley voters. You guys talked about it before, maybe suburban white voters. She is doing an event outside Philadelphia with disaffected Republicans who are now coming to her side. So I think she's trying to reach out to that audience. Obviously, I've been talking to the campaign for a long time, trying to do an interview, trying to do a debate, trying to do a town hall, and this is what they chose today.
So, Bret, you have an interesting style. You do a lot of research for your interviews. You bring up past statements. You're firm, but you're not hostile. But this has been a long time coming, and there's a lot of content to cover with the vice president. And so with this moment, do you handle this interview differently, or is it the same Bret Baier?
Well, it's roughly the same Bret Baier. It's a little bit different because there's just so much territory. They've given us 25, 30 minutes. Again, we are doing it at 5 o'clock. That's the time they gave us. We're going to tape it as live, no editing. We're going to go run right through, and then we're going to turn the tape around at the top of the 6 and run it just as we did it. But to get all of the topics in that time, it is like, a process of throwing different priorities away as you're looking at all the questions you could possibly ask. But it's the same process I always go through, and tough but fair is what we're looking for, and I think that's what you'll see.
Well, Bret, congratulations. It's a huge get. It's the first time in 8 years a Democratic presidential nominee has sat down on it for a formal interview on Fox News. So we'll all be watching. This election, have you ever seen anything like it? I mean, it is so close. Every single poll has them neck and neck. So for the people watching, their vote could be the deciding factor.
We're talking decades that the election, Ainsley, has not moved outside of 1 or 2 points either way. I mean, at some point in the past 3, 4 election cycles, you've had one candidate go up 5, go up 9, even 10. This hasn't happened. It's been right there in the middle, and the swing states are even tighter. So if these polls are anywhere near accurate, this is the tightest race we've ever seen. So any little thing, another shoe that drops that affects some small population of voters could have an effect in any one of these swing states.
I know you were listening to the interview yesterday on iHeart with Charlamagne the God, and just to see, pick a couple of things up, he asked her directly about the criticism that she doesn't veer off talking points. Listen.
What do you say to people who say you stay on the talking points?
I would say you're welcome. I mean, listen, here's the thing. I love having conversations, which is why I'm so happy to be with you this afternoon. And the reality is that there are certain things that must be repeated to ensure that I have everyone know what I stand for and the issues that I think are at stake in this election. And so it requires repetition. You know, some people say that until someone has heard the same thing at least 3 times, it just doesn't stay with you.
Your thoughts about her talking points and how that's going to affect your exchange.
Well, listen, it depends on the politician, but if that's her take and it's going to be 3 times, obviously there will be a redirect and a trying to get to the answer to the question. The way I've always structured questions is to be direct, be to the point, try to take politicians off of their talking points to try to illuminate something that maybe they haven't revealed before that gives the voter, the viewer, a little bit more insight into what they're thinking. So that's ideally what I'm trying to do. It's going to be respectful, but sometimes if you have to redirect, you have to redirect.
Well, and to that point, Bret, sometimes when you ask a hard question to any interviewer, and the person starts to filibuster and not just say words to take up time, hoping that you'll say, okay, let me go on to another topic. if it's something important, then what is the meter in your head? How many seconds are you going to let this person talk about nothing in particular before you say, okay, I get what you're trying to do, but I just asked you this?
Yeah, that's a game time decision. You kind of have to feel it out. But, when you ask a question again and redirect again and you get to 3 times,
right.
I think the viewers kind of know
exactly.
that the answer's not coming and you move on.
So, right. Bret, I'm curious. We're less than 3 weeks away from the election. You've been across the country. You've done town halls. You've talked with, after today, both candidates. What do you think is the most pressing issue? I mean, we say the economy all the time, and we hear that from voters. But what do you think is going to be the issue that decides this election?
That's a fascinating question. I've seen some things that have moved the needle that are about immigration. There's some places that, some states that really think that is a big issue, almost as big as the economy. But every election comes down to how people feel, both safety and security, and how they feel economically when they're doing a budget on the back of an envelope on the kitchen table. Mm-hmm. And so those are the bread and butter issues usually. By the way, we have formally invited former President Trump to do the same format, the 30 minutes uninterrupted before the election. We hope he takes us up on it.
Hey, Bret, which states are you looking at the most? Because there are some toss-ups. The Fox Power Rankings chart has the presidential forecast like this: 226 for Harris, 219 for Trump, but they're 93 toss-ups. What states are the most important? We keep hearing Michigan, Pennsylvania. Do you agree with that?
I totally agree with that. I think Pennsylvania is the ground zero, and that's why they keep on going back to Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. I do think Michigan has changed. I think the outlier here is Wisconsin, that the former president has moved up in, and you look at that Senate race, that has closed and is essentially tied in the latest polls. As you look at all those yellow states there, those are the toss-ups, and Michigan has moved back from likely or lean Dem to toss-up. I think that those Rust Belt states are the ones to watch.
I know you said Lawrence had a good question. I'm going to challenge this being the best question, and we could discuss it later off the air. This is going to be the toughest thing, I think. Because I listened to the whole thing yesterday. She keeps on bringing up the president's calling for a bloodbath if he loses, dictator for a day, the Charlottesville situation, and separate putting kids in cages. All these are inaccurate characterizations of what the president was saying. Says it over and over again. As an interviewer, without, you're not a moderator, you're an interviewer. When she says something inaccurate about her opponent, are you going to feel compelled to correct?
Fact check.
It's a different thing. You're not a moderator. And a moderator, you're trying to stay out of it, let the candidates kind of do their own fact checking. Ideally, you don't want to be the story. In an interview, it's one-on-one. And if you go down those roads, it's not about defending Donald Trump. It's about defending, the accuracy of the statements.
Truth.
So, we'll see how it goes, but I think that I'd probably step in.
Did you like that better than Lawrence's question?
I mean, it was close. It was a close second.
You want to talk about it off the air?
Bret, your interview tonight, one of 2 highlights this week. Okay, the interview with Bret Baier tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern time. You're going to sit down for at least about a half an hour with the current vice president. People are going to tune in for that. The other thing this week that I think is going to be the picture of the week, and one of the pictures that will go down in the history of this entire campaign, will be when Donald Trump goes to McDonald's because he says he's going to work the French fryer in a couple of days.
I think he's a McDonald's connoisseur, so maybe he knows his way around the fryer. I don't know.
I don't think he's been behind the counter.
He believes Harris has not worked at McDonald's.
Yeah, a lot of people.
He does not think Harris actually worked there.
Maybe we'll find out tonight.
I'm not sure. We'll see if it's on my list or not.
All right.
Bret Baier.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Good
you,
luck.
Bret.
Tonight.
We'll be watching. So excited for you.
Indeed.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.